it's time for a battle report again. This time it's Christopher who is stopping by to get his first 9th Age game before the local tournament that we actually played this weekend. If I know him correctly, he probably knows all the rules by heart already, even though it's first 9th game. He always was one of my more challenging opponents back when we played 8, so it's not a good idea to get lulled in by the appearing inexperience. He played his Saurian Ancients. We rolled Hold the Ground and Flank Attack, and for spells, my level 3 got Blizzard, Thunderbolt, and Curse of the Westleys, while the level 1 got the Comet. He had the exact same spells, but I don't remember which of his priests had which spells. My ambitions for the videos from now on is to have overview photos of the board at the end of each play turn, but as you will see, I forgot to take pictures from most of the turns, but I hopefully will get better. So, deploy, and I choose to be the attacker since I like the opportunity to flank, and the board is pretty much cut in two by the terrain anyway. He had a lot more drops, but I wanted to get a feel for his deploy before committing my own blocks, so we alternate until I was forced to lay them down, and got +5 for the first turn. So from my left we have my 2 chariots hiding behind the hill, then a bolt thrower, the altar, another bolt thrower, tower guards with the lords, harpies, corsairs, the blades together with the level 1, and a bolt thrower behind. From his left he has the braves with the caimans, hunters and a salamander. More to the middle are the braves with the short bows together with the priests. Then the second salamander, 2 small brave units, all his monsters, and on his right are the chameleons, the rampradon riders, and the flying hero on his own. First time against the Saurians, and I'm excited. At this point I'm feeling okay, and feeling that the right should hold well while the left hangs back and tries to shoot out some stuff. The only thing I'm not too happy about is the level 1 in the blade unit. I just feel like she had been better off among the corsairs or something. He has dropped his toad markers on my 2 chariots, so I'm pretty certain that after he vanguarded up on my right, he will try to come at me from that side while his heavy stuff comes in the middle. In response to that, my 1 chariot goes to the corner to have line of sight if he should move up. The other goes towards my center. Other than that, I just move my harpies to be able to redirect the Cayman unit later if I need to get away with the blades. For magic I first fail a thunderbolt, and then I'm thinking that it would be great to get a comet off to stop his advance on my left, so being a bit too eager, I forgot to boost it, but I get it through with 5 dice and overwhelming force, and place the marker on the hill. For the miscast I roll a small template and kill 7 of my blades, so the left now looking good, while the right's looking a bit worse. With the shooting, my plan was to get rid of some chaff, but I roll very badly and only kill 2 or 3 skinks total. As was intended, he moved back on the left, and other than that, he moves into range with some stuff. In the magic I let him have Thunderbolt on the rightmost bolt thrower, and he fortunately only does 1 wound, while the comet does not come down this turn. Had I boosted it, I would have chosen it to come down this turn, but we'll see what happens later. In shooting, he kills 2 raiders and some blades. In my turn, I see an opportunity to charge the raiders into the flank of his small skink unit. I don't really know what good it will make, since I won't break him for a couple of turns, but At least it keeps the raiders alive, saves me some shooting, and hopefully bottles up his fangs a bit in the middle. Other than that, my chariot tries to avoid the comet, and the corsairs move up to shoot his hunters. For magic I get Blizzard off on the Cayman unit, and this turn the comet does arrive. And of course I roll 11 for the range, which together with the counter makes it 13, which is exactly how far away I managed to get the chariot. So the chariot takes 4 hits and die, and it feels almost like the dice gods mock me when also the chameleon skinks take 4 hits, but only 3 of them die. So for shooting, then my corsairs only get 4 hits on the hunters and doesn't wound a single one on 3+. At least I get a harpoon through on his general, which does 3 wounds, so that's good. In combat I don't kill a single skink and he reforms. He is pretty satisfied with the standoff and only moves the general to safety behind the hill. I don't think his magic does anything special, and then he proceeds with whittling my blades and the corsairs. When it's my turn again, I feel safe to charge my harpies into the hunters, since they only hit on 8+ on the standard shoot. And they also are in fairly easy range, so there should be no problem to make the charge. There's no longer any use to hold back the blades and let them get shot down, so I decide to take the opportunity to charge the Cayman unit while they are hexed by Blizzard. Perhaps it would have been best to just hold them back and let them be shot down, and at least keep the Cayman unit on the right for some turns more. See if that situation arises more times. My corsairs then reform to have both his skinks blocks in the front, and on the left flank things they put. In magic I failed to hex the Caymans, so that combat looks a bit rough. Shooting puts a harpoon in the engine Taurosaur, which does 3 wounds, and the bolt throwers fail and only kill 1 or 2 javelin skinks, which I had hoped to get out of the way. The corsairs with only 2 models in range kills 2 or 3 skinks this turn. In combat the blades roll pretty badly, only killing 8 skinks. He doesn't roll that well either, but kills 7 of my blades and then win by 1. I stick, but with only 4 left, that flank is pretty much falling apart. The harpies kill a bunch of the hunters and break them, but they don't catch them. And the raiders and the braves continue to tie and stays where they were. In his turn he rallies the skirmishers, and since he is winning the shootout, he continues on that path, flaming the harpies and the corsairs with the salamanders and killing a bolt thrower. In combat the last blades die and the raiders still duke it out with the braves. At my turn 4 it's about time to get my hard units into combat, so the tower guards charge the javelin braves who flee. I then redirect to the raider combat. The altar forces the braves to flee a bit further and then redirects into the chameleons, who also chose to flee. On the right I have a chance to get the corsairs to the middle, abandoning the overwhelmed right flank, so they charge the wizard bunker on an 8, and none of my units make it in, and I don't remember the magic, but I might have put 2 more wounds on the engine Taurosaur, or it might be on my next turn I do that. Some skinks die in the raider combat, and that's all. It must have been on my turn I wounded the Taurosaur, because now on his turn he's trying to hide that one as well. On my right he moves to finish off the corsairs while his fleeing stuff rally. His flying captain has nothing to do, so he flies and uses the egg on the altar, but fails to cause any wounds. In Magic I let him have the comet and dispels the rest, since I don't actually think he has any good spot to put it anyway, so I'm a bit curious to see what he will do. He then places it next to my last bolt thrower, which means that he must have got one more thunderbolt in killing the other bolt thrower on his previous turn, so I'm sorry about that. Shooting kills all Corsairs, and in combat there is now only one Raider left against 6 Skinks. So it's turn 5, and at this point there is not much I can do on my own to win this, since he's too many points ahead and can just dance around the impossible in the middle to keep me from winning the objective. Nonetheless, I see a small chance of grabbing some points by charging the tower guards into the raider combat and then overrun into the BSB. The altar too has a juicy flank charge on his flyers, who are frenzy and can't flee, which suits me very well. Both charges make it in, and the harpoon chariot tries to shoot down the flying captain, but fail. For Magic I got Blizzard on his general, hoping to make some stuff flee. The skinks die quickly, but unfortunately my overrun plan was a bit flawed since the damn raider stands in the way. The altar kills 2 and almost a half flyer and then break them. Sadly I roll so low that he both gets away and escapes an overrun charge on the Braves, where there also is one of his priests at the moment. I think I had needed a 7 or something easy like that, but no. So instead of dancing around, he decides that he wants to see what his monsters are worth and send them all into the tower guards. I had preferred to only get one impacting monster, but at least I'm confident in me killing them eventually, which will net me a huge amount of points. His shooting in Magic does nothing, so in combat his impact hits kill about 10 of the guards. My prince easily kills the last wound of his general, but I failed to kill the Taurosaur that only has 1 wound left at this point. He kills a bunch more with the stomps and all, but I'm bodyguard stubborn, so I stick. It's my last turn, and I take the chaffing skinks with the altar, figuring it's better than nothing. So I try to thunderbolt a salamander to make stuff flee, but fail on that. The harpoon also failed. In combat my prince chops up his BSB, who did take 2 wounds the last turn, so it wasn't that surprising. The guards put the last wound on the other Taurosaur, so all monsters are dead, and I have 5 to 7 guards left. His BSB dying actually panics his skinks with the short bows, which is awesome since they now can't contest the objective. So for his last turn, and he only focuses to get as many shots off as possible. I don't know if it is because of that he forgets to move the Cayman units in to contest the objective, but they stay where they are and the fleeing units rally. So shooting, his salamanders and skirmishers kill all but 1 tower guard, and then it is his captain's turn, and he hits, he wounds, and he kills the last one, and the game ends. So a bit twists back and forth. So I was fairly certain that I had lost the game at turn 4, and then I was on the verge of winning a decent victory, but it ended in a draw or perhaps an 11-9 win to him. We didn't count the result that thoroughly. Since he easily could have taken the objective, I almost count it as a lost loss regardless. Well, it was a really good game, and I don't think I played that bad, but forgetting to boost the first comet and deciding to deploy around the swamp was something that bit me in the ass a bit. So lastly, that was the last game before our local tournament that I actually played last weekend, so stay tuned for more Dread Elves battles.